Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Um, I am just pleased to come to you this morning and just share with you a little bit of my story and some things that I have experienced in my life. Kind of been on this journey. Just want to help folks who may have found themselves in similar situations, such as myself, when it comes to grief and loss. And I have been one who has had to deal with the loss of losing both of my parents right at the holidays. Um, and so I want to just help a few people think about some things that I've gone through and offer some tips that also may help you. Um, so, kind of just tell you a little bit of my story. So, November the 10th, 2016, I got a phone call from my mother, and she was frantic on the other end, and she said the words that shook me to my core, and that was, "Sean, I can't wake up your daddy." Now, man, you know, having dealt with crises and have some training in this area, dealing with persons who find themselves in emergency situations, you know, part of it is I'm trying to help her process. So I told her to call 911 and then try to contact my siblings and, you know, try to get him as much help as possible. I then jumped off the phone with my mom, and then I began to call my siblings to see if they could get home. Um, uh, she said that they were getting ready to get up and go to the store, and while they were going to while she walked out of the room for a few seconds, came back, she said he was unresponsive, couldn't wake him up, and that was November the 10th, and Thanksgiving was just a few weeks away, and in my family, and some of my cousins. Watch this. It's a pretty big deal. They all get together at someone's house and eat, and people bring food, and it's just an awesome time of reflection, right? And so losing my dad, because it was a big shock. No one expected him to pass. He had some acute illnesses, like diabetes. He was on dialysis, but nothing that would say he would pass. So it was sudden, and it was shocking, and you're kind of like, wow, what are you gonna do, man? So that approaching that first Thanksgiving without him being there was really tough. You think about the memories. He used to like to help my mom, and it was always funny to hear them like arguing in the kitchen. She's like, "Man, turn the stove down," because my dad would turn the stove up real high. She said, "Turn the stove down so you don't burn anything," and then they'd just be bantering back and forth. It'd be so fun, we would be laughing at them. And so approaching the holidays, you had to think about, man, his presence is not there anymore, and although he was there, he had lived in the home, and my parents have been married almost 40 years, and so without his presence, things became very, very difficult, and trying to process that without him being there, him driving my mom to the store, them laughing, and he loving on his grandkids, giving them money, him cooking with my mom, him calling the relatives and just saying happy Thanksgiving. And so you missed his presence. Well, 3 years later, November the 18th, 2019, my mother succumbed to her illness. She started getting sick right at the close of 2018, and then her health just slowly declined. And so we saw her death kind of coming, and she passed November the 18th, 2019, right before Thanksgiving. And my mom, was one of the staple persons in our family. Her and her sisters, they were matriarchs, and so now it became even more difficult. We don't have dad, and we don't have mom. My mom would help cook a lot of the food, and so now you're wondering who's going to make her. And I'm from the South, so we said the dressing. Who's going to make her dressing? And her potato salad, her meatloaf, her banana pudding, all these things, right? So she's no longer there. Who's going to cook the food? And then you think about her presence. You want to call her about the recipes. You want to call and find out how she did certain things. And so you get ready to pick up the phone and to call, and she's not there. She's not on the other end. My dad's not there. He's not on the other end. You can't call them. And since you can't call them, then what do you do? Here are a few things, three things that I learned. And just dealing with the loss of my relatives. I have to think about this. November 10th was just last week. November 18th is coming, and then Thanksgiving is in about a week away. So for me, I realize that when it comes to the holidays and losing their relatives, their death will hit you slowly. It'll come in waves. It'll come in waves because you're so used to being there, you're ready to pick up the phone, but you realize you can't, right? The death that hits you because now you're trying to find their recipe, or you're trying to ask them about something, and you can't call. And so their death hits you slowly and unexpectedly. It's like, wow. Because sometimes you think about the Thanksgiving morning. If you live away, I live far away from where I grew up, and so sometimes I wasn't able to travel back, but I would want to pick up the phone and call my parents and say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. And you'll want to do that, but now you're not able to because they're not there. And so their death kind of hits you slowly in ways that's unsuspected. And so you got to be ready for that surprise. Just know that that's going to come, that you're going to be surprised by the fact that you want to pick up the phone, you want to call them, want to talk to them, and you're just not going to be able to do that because they're not here anymore. And that's a harsh reality. So it will hit you slowly. Their deaths will hit you slowly. But here's the second thing. I've learned that when you lose your loved one during the holidays, the second thing is you got to give yourself time. You got to give yourself time to process, because it's completely new. It's completely new. And you got to think about what adjustments do you have to make? What adjustments do I have to make now? So if you had a stable grandma, or your mom or dad was a stable figure, and maybe they were the ones who held the family together, or maybe they were the ones who rallied people together, and now their presence is absent, you got to think how you're going to adjust. And so you have to give yourself some time to process and to think about that. So you might have to pull back a little bit and just think about all the things that they've done, and now they're not able to do. And then how are you going to get through it? How is life going to happen now without them? How is life going to happen without them? So give yourself some time. Might need to take a break. Might need to take some time away, a couple of days away. And there's a term called self-care. Self-care. That means you take a day over the week, you take some time off, and you just love on yourself. Your mental health becomes extremely important, especially in the holidays when everything is getting wrapped up. So take some time for yourself and kind of process the death, process their loss, and see how and what life looks like without them, because that thing can just hit you like a Mack truck. When you want to just pick up the phone every now and again, Facebook will share Facebook memories and just hit you, boom. So you got to give yourself some time when it comes to the holidays. What will you do? Who's going to make those meals? Who's going to make those phone calls? Who's going to hold people together? Who's going to send out the text messages, say this is where we're meeting, this is where we're eating this year, kind of a thing. Now, I'm from the South. I have a big family, and so we're just used to getting together and spending time together. And so when their presence is absent, you miss them. Oof, you miss them. Can I tell you, you miss them? Because you think about the laughter and the food they made and just their whole presence. And then, my family, the people were church folks. And so they were always going to try to talk about God and pray. And so if you need some spiritual help between my mom and my aunts and my dad, you could call on them, say, hey, can you pray for me? Can you, pray for the family? Can you just help me out here in the little stuck place that I find myself? And when you can't do that, man, that's tough. It's really tough. And so when it comes to that, think about how you're going to think about your emotions on that day. You might wake up on Thanksgiving morning and may not want to get out of the bed. You may wake up on Thanksgiving morning craving for some special item they would make you, and you don't have it. But it's okay. It's okay. Put your feet on the ground and keep walking, right? Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Here's the third thing that I've learned is that you have to do something in their memory. Do something in their memory. I have a younger brother, and he and I often we call and we'll joke. We'll say something my dad used to say, and we laugh at one another about that. Or we will say something that my mom used to say, some kind of a saying. Just last night, he shared a video with me of my nephew, interacting with Power Rangers. He was watching Power Rangers, getting crazy. And then he and I started laughing because my mom wouldn't allow us to watch wrestling because she said we get too wild and erratic when it comes to that. And so we began to talk about the memories of how my mom wouldn't allow us to watch wrestling, even though my grandmother, her mother was a big wrestling fan. My aunts were big wrestling fans. My grandmother's sister was a big wrestling fan. And so my mom banned us from watching wrestling. However, we were able to take that moment and reflect on my mother's life so that we could kind of keep her memory alive. And so find something you can do in their memory. Maybe make a dish in their memory. Make a donation in their memory. Do something on it. Light a candle in their memory. Go out on the date of their anniversary and celebrate maybe with your siblings or family. And y'all just do something special to remember them, to remember that person. Because you kind of want to keep their memory alive. So do something in their memory. Do something in their honor, to honor them, to honor their name. Have a picture made, a special picture or a special blanket or some kind of saying. Frame it and put it in a special place in your house where you can go and look at it and think about them at some later point, some later time. Blow it up really nice, really big. Post a memory, just thanking God maybe for what they had done and their influence in your life. And so these are some things that I've learned. Again, I'm on a journey. It's only been 5 years. My father passed November 16th. My mom passed 2019. And so one passed November 10th, one passed November 18th. And so when the holidays come, all these emotions come flooding, come rushing back. But I try to go through these steps. I remember that this thing is going to just hit me slowly. It's going to come in waves. So I kind of prepare myself that there are going to be triggers that'll make me cry. And then I got to take some time to myself so that I can really process it and think about them. So, maybe take a few moments by yourself, a couple of days or some time apart where you separate from your kids, your loved ones. Maybe even go to their grave and visit their gravesite, as that can help you. If they have been cremated, think about, just hold the urn in your hand and just think about the memories. Maybe even write down the great memories that you have with them. But give yourself some time to process. And then finally, do something in their memory. Make a picture, make a blanket, celebrate the day of celebration. Go to the gravesite, call up your siblings, laugh and enjoy, tell stories of the time that you all have spent together, and just kind of keep their memory alive. Because now that my parents are here, there are a lot of things that they said to me when I was younger that are starting to make sense now that I'm older. And I can say thank God that they shared those things with me. And so if you find yourself in a situation like me, the holidays are coming, and you're trying to process the loss of your loved one, just know you don't have to do it alone. You're not alone. And even if you need to inbox me, man, we can talk, we can share. I'm here because I'm passionate about this. I know what I have experienced in my life, and I want to help others with some tools so it can help them in theirs. All right. So thank you to listening today. I hope this has helped you. I hope it's helping you. But can you do me a big favor? Can you share this so that it can help somebody? If you can share it for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And hopefully somebody else can be helped as a result. All right. Thank you for listening. I pray that you be blessed. I just want to say a word of prayer for you, Father. I just ask now that you bless the person that will hear this at some point in their journey, and may it provide them with hope and encouragement. And so, God, I ask that you would please, Lord, just give them the strength as the holidays are approaching, as Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming, that you would help them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. Thank you for watching. All right. God bless you. And do me a big favor again. Share this. All right. Peace and blessings.